Hi, this is a video on how to start a Honda G100. A guy asked me what's the best way of starting one of these. So this is just a very brief summary of how I got this one going. The picture here is very poor. It's late at night, so some of this stuff is not very clear, but again, it's just a very brief summary of what I did to get this going. I couldn't find anything mechanically wrong on this, so therefore I guess it's just the best way to set it up. So the first thing I did was this. Okay, we can't see it from that side. If I go over here, that's a little bit better. So this application, first of all, you can get this motor on many applications. It's the Honda 2.5. This one is connected to a mixer. So when it's ready for loading, it's actually sitting at a very much of a slant. So therefore, the first thing I did is I just leveled up the whole motor. This is just, I suppose, to improve the fuel intake and to get a nice mix of oil. That's the first thing. Then once that was, I let it settle, by the way. After that, let it settle for 5 minutes or so. After that, then this picture is shocking. After that, the next thing I did was the drum was very tight, so therefore I cranked the drum using the pull cord. This pull cord as well is pretty poor. There's a lot of wear and tear on that. So anyways, I cranked the pull cord in order to spin the drum, just to crank that into a different position, and just to free it out pretty much. That was the idea behind that. And I did that while the electronic start was off, so all that I wanted to do was just make sure that engine is cranking, and just to see how freely it will crank. If it was very difficult to crank, you could take out the spark plug to try and reduce some of that compression, but there's no need in this case because I was able to get a nice crank, and therefore I was happy there's nothing seized, so I can move on to the next step. And then obviously check for fuel. It's okay on fuel. This one is a fill of oil on the dipstick here, so therefore it's telling me it's non-two-stroke, so therefore it's just regular petrol I'm putting in, and I hope that's right. Now anyways, next thing I did was there's a spark plug located at the front of this fuel tank, just lower down near the block, and just got this a very standard socket removing tool with a little rubber insert, and the size on that, I can't see the size. And then I removed the spark plug, and there was a little bit of carbon build up on the spark plug. Just got a very bit of rough, little bit of paper, not rough in the sense of the type of sandpaper paper, just as in the sense that any sandpaper will do, probably smoother the better. And then just sand down that spark plug until you've pretty much a metal contact with no carbon or no build up of soot or anything like that on it, and no wear and tear on the plug. I can go through how to check a spark plug again a different time. Okay, sorry about that now, got distracted. It's very cold outside, it's freezing now. So after that, so now we have our crank done, we have our fuel levels okay, oil levels are okay, spark plug is okay. Next we're on to the air intake. So after that, this is the air intake on this one. So I just took out the filter, checked the filter was clean, or in the sense that it wasn't restrictive. However, I just ran it without a filter just to test it, and it looks all okay in there. And then a nice trick for that one was I just burnt off any of that old residue with anything gold. This is just a little aerosol can or deodorant, so just the old usual, light that mist, keep it lighting, and when it's lighting, just spray into the air intake, and that should burn off any of that old residue, and to create a little bit of a hot air pocket, which should be easier to light when you have that going. Not good for your health, that stuff. So after that, now we've our air taken care of, just to dry off all that. That was the reason we done that one. Next, as this edition is electronic start or electronic fuel cut off. So this is to kill the ignition spark. So now that's in the on position there. Just one flick. Next of all, after that, move over here. This is your fuel cut off. So flick that over. Now that's on. And then after that, this one on the top here. This is your choke. So bring this all the way over like that. And then this is your accelerator here. And then I just positioned that in the say that's halfway. Bring it back a touch, and then slacken it off a tenth. So then that was the way I set it up. Give it about 3 or 4 cranks. After that stage, took off my choke, and then bring the throttle all the way to full throttle. Give it another 2 or 3 pulls. At that stage you should start to see it running or starting to run, and if it does start to, if it's almost ready to go, then you can try to position that throttle halfway and try again. If that fails, you could perhaps bring on the choke to halfway, therefore you'd have choke halfway, throttle halfway, and try again. And if it doesn't go after that, there's probably something wrong. But in this case, it ran. As I said, how I got it going on the setup there. Okay, so that goes to choke off now again, and I'll set up this before I go. And yeah, they're quite cool, these little motors. Quite versatile also. Okay, take care.